Madrid are level again. And it's the one-time City play that's got it. Oh, that's dangerous. Oh, it's very dangerous. Vinicius Junior, it's beyond Ederson, and Bellingham has beaten City with the last attack of the match. And City now must go to the Bernabeu and try and beat Real Madrid.
All right, guys, welcome to Sport Cruise Live from 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Yes, of course, that soundbite we played for you was the highlight of that game at the UEFA Champions League playoff game between Manchester City versus Real Madrid at Etihad Stadium, where Manchester City led twice, but unfortunately, Real Madrid as well had to come back from behind to win that particular tie. Yes, the 7th time of asking Real Madrid finally defeated Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. Welcome to the show. My name is Banjo Adetomo, otherwise known as ʔᴏᴜ. Of course, I'll be doing the show together with ᴑᴏᴜ Akínyẹ̀dé, who joins me on the program today. A lot of things to talk about apart from the UEFA Champions League. Yes, there are also games as well. Earlier on today in the Nigeria Premier Football, the Kano Pillars in action against El Kanemi Warriors in down. Apart from that, as well, also Kwara United as well, also defeating Shooting Stars to end their unbeaten run 2-0 in favor of Kwara United to win that one. And then the game between Benin Insurance up against Enyimba is still much going very much strong. 90th plus 5th minutes in that one with Benin Insurance leading the scoreline at the moment. Apart from that, guys, yes, the big one, the big announcement that was made by Arsenal earlier on today, and that was their highest goal scorer, 15 goals in all competitions already. Kai Havertz is set to be out for the entire duration of this season. How would Arsenal be able to pose a title challenge to Liverpool? All of that, of course, would be talked about on the show. Apart from that as well, there's also going to be the final Merseyside derby later tonight at Goodison Park. Everton up against Liverpool. Yes, it promises to be very exciting. This time last year, when Liverpool were to visit Goodison Park for the Merseyside derby, if they had won that game, they would have gone joint first in that particular game. But then Everton had other plans, winning that particular scoreline 2-0. So welcome to the show. You're in for a very nice time. And then, just like I said, I won't be doing the show alone today. ᴑᴜᴜ Akínyẹ̀dé joins me on the show. ᴑᴜᴜ Akínyẹ̀dé, yesterday was a blockbuster talking about Manchester City against Real Madrid. Do you see that coming?
Yes, I saw it coming, and
ᴑᴜᴜ is a Madrid fan, so you definitely see it coming.
I saw it coming.
How would you see it coming?
And one of the reasons why I couldn't make a prediction yesterday was because we had a predict and win promo yesterday, so I had to stay neutral. But from my analysis yesterday, you could have an idea of where I thought the game was going to swing. And so I wasn't exactly surprised, even though it looks like the odds were a bit in favor of Manchester City. Looking at how bad Real Madrid's defense was in that yesterday's game. Rudiger is out, Alaba is out, Militao is out, Cavaya is out, everybody's out. Lucas Vazquez is out. So you have a certain Asensio that made his debut in November. You have a certain player that you originally bought to play as a midfielder in Tchouaméni. He's now playing the out of the defense. You also expect at least Rudiger should be in the squad. He was also out. He's probably going to be out for the second leg also. So
Valverde is also having to play a right back.
Real Madrid went into that game like Johnny Bravo. If you know that cartoon character, very big up front and very thin down. Behind, and so you understood that it was if Manchester City were going to exploit that weakness in the defensive lineup of Real Madrid. But of course, Real Madrid is Real Madrid. Ancelotti is Ancelotti. 15 Champions League is no joke. Whether you say they won it in 1770 AD or 1662 BC, the most important thing is that they have 15 Champions League. And then you saw when the Man City fans were taunting
Madrid, Vinicius
Junior with Rodrigo's Ballon d'Or. He was showing them 15. The 15 Champions badge that was on the jersey of Real Madrid yesterday. So it was a game that was set up with all of the aura around it.
I'm telling you, all of the intrigues.
The fact that Ancelotti had not won in all of his 6 previous visits to the Etihad Stadium bring it up as a good cook. The fact that Pep Guardiola has some amazing record when he was in Spain against Real Madrid.
Exactly.
The El Clasico victory 6-0, 5-1 at the Santiago Bernabeu. All of that was well poised. And again, you also look at the setup of Real Madrid. They knew that, see, I said it, all they needed to do was qualify for the playoffs. And everybody will know that Madrid is Madrid.
Madrid, exactly. You never
they lost
Madrid
3 of their first 5 games. Then they won the next 3, they qualified. They got into that space. For Pep, I think capitulating at the way they did yesterday was the summary of Manchester City's season.
Exactly.
They led 86th minute, they were leading 2-1 at home. And then by 92nd minute, you were already trailing by 3 goals to 2. The substitutions that Pep Guardiola made yesterday, I can't wrap my head around
Akanji for
Lewis,
that was due to injury.
We understood that Akanji was due to injury, but why did you leave Kushnerov on the bench?
On the bench,
and you
exactly.
You are saying Rico Lewis should mark Vinicius Junior. Are you whining yourself? Like, are you joking right now?
He was gonna be roasted.
Like, are you joking right now? Are you joking right now?
He was gonna be roasted. To be
all
honest.
of the organs of football was against Man City yesterday, because as a striker, you scored 2 goals against Real Madrid, and you still could not win with those 2 goals. You couldn't even get a point.
Despite how much you celebrated.
That is how painful it could be. And Real Madrid are in a phase where they don't care about what happens at the back. They will outscore you.
Yeah.
They know they are really frail at the back right now because of the injuries to all of their defenders.
But they are fantastic forward players.
You will score.
But also
they will outscore you.
Definitely.
So Madrid will win 6-5. Madrid will win 7-6.
I think the most important thing is outscoring.
I'm not saying you should not score. And there's no home and away goal rule anywhere in the Champions League.
So you can score as many goals as you want.
I'm not saying you will not score me. But I was scoring at the point that matters the most. Somebody made a joke this morning that if you're playing against Real Madrid and you are leading 3-0, don't jubilate
it's not over.
Grab your third goal. Grab the ball as if you have not scored anyone.
Exactly. I'll try to score more.
It is Madrid. I mean, this is not even about score depth. It's about the mentality of the players. The players. Did you hear what Toni Kroos said one day before he retired? He said when they play in the league, they believe they can beat anybody. But when they play in the Champions League, they believe they can beat everybody. So Madrid lives with the mindset of, from the group stage, they're already in the final, waiting for who they will play against. That is the mentality of. So you're coming into Madrid, you know what you're coming to meet. I remember we had that conversation yesterday about where the game was going to be won and lost.
Exactly.
Madrid captured the midfield.
I thought about it.
Boy, oh boy. I think Madrid should go back to Borussia Dortmund and give them extra 100 million euros.
For Bellingham.
Bellingham was in a world of his own yesterday. The flexibility.
It didn't start on a high note in that game. He seemed to go into the match.
And
exactly.
his orchestra was matching everything.
I'm telling you.
Kylian Mbappe wanted.
Camavinga as well, beautiful midfielder. Apart from that, I think Dani Ceballos as well also had a good game before that penalty.
You said it yesterday.
Yes.
You said it that on Dani Ceballos' day,
he can be a world beater.
He's a fire guy.
Very true.
So when Manchester City scored 1 and Madrid equalized, there was a picture of Vinicius, Mbappe, and
was it Dani Ceballos?
No, Vinicius, Mbappe, and Bellingham.
Okay.
3 of them were laughing because they know. Because they know they will still win. Even when Alan scored the penalty, controversial or no controversial, Madrid knows they would always win.
Definitely.
And that is the mindset. So you know you are playing in the club where if you play in your league, you feel you can beat anybody.
Yeah.
But when you play on the continent, you feel you can beat everybody. So the key word is anybody and everybody. Anybody in the league means they could have a bad day against Atletico Madrid. And they could have a bad El Clasico against Barcelona.
Yeah.
But in Europe, they believe nobody can beat them.
But they were beaten by Liverpool.
See, like they say, it's mentality. It doesn't mean you will not lose.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean you are not going to have your bad days. But what stands you out is 5 Champions League out of 7.
Out of 7, come on.
3 on the bounce, back to back to back.
15 in total.
15 in total. 6 in the last 12.
Okay,
like, the numbers are crazy.
We are really due for our first break. Let's also go for a quick break and then get to pay some bills. In other games as well yesterday, PSG defeated Brest. They go to the G Sports. They took advantage of Brest. Any of this amount will be discussed when we come from the show.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. The sound of Lagos.
Hey lovers, our favorite season of the year is upon us again. And to celebrate the season, Franny's Restaurant and Mainland 98.3 FM has something special for us. As the countdown to Valentine begins, so also are we ready to fill your tummy on a daily basis. Listen to all our shows every day from now up until the 15th of February 2025 and stand a chance to win a meal voucher to have the time of your life at Franny's Restaurant at Ilupeju. It's also Franny's second anniversary and they have special events on the 12th and the 15th of February that you cannot afford to miss. There will also be an avenue for you to redeem your meal vouchers. On the 12th, there's the anniversary special, a karaoke session, and you have the opportunity to win fantastic gifts during the raffle draw. On the 14th, there will be a Valentine vibe alongside love messages, love and chill, and opportunity to take photos in the photo booth. I'm sure you don't want to miss any of this, so keep listening to Mainland 98.3 FM to stand the chance to win the meal vouchers. Call 0806 703 0121 for further inquiries.
Oga, this your engine don kaput o. After you make me spend money repairing and repairing, see what you are now saying. Oga, don't be my fault now. I sabi work o. Now your engine no good. If you make car collect hello, my engine.
Do you know that one way to get your engine working efficiently is by buying good quality petrol? That is why Dangote Refinery has refined its petrol to straight run clean petrol, which is quality petrol you can trust for all your engines. It's time to care about your engine. Buy high quality Dangote petrol.
For a decade, the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon has been more than just a race. It's been a collection of stories. Stories of ordinary people achieving the extraordinary. Every stride taken has created unforgettable memories. Memories of triumph, purpose, and shared experiences. With each step, runners have sparked passion that ignites, moments that last a lifetime, strides that leave a legacy. Join us as we celebrate a decade of running, purpose, and progress at the 10th anniversary of the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon. Register today at accessbankplc.com/marathon and be a part of the journey where every step becomes a story to remember.
The Access Bank Lagos City Marathon, celebrating 10 years of running. See you at the starting line.
Chai, my head oh. Oga landlord, why you dey shake like ceiling fan? My village people don't come again oh. This one with your body hot so, you don't do test? Yes, see result oh. Oga landlord, no be your village people oh. Na malaria, you need Luta. Luta na better medicine wey dey knack down malaria. Oya see am, take am. Thank you Oga Luta. I don't dey kampe.
Luta, brand of Artemata and Lumefantrine, is another quality product from Hovid, marketed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited. If symptoms persist after 3 days, see your doctor.
Everybody say thanks, Luta. Malaria's in big trouble.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your pilot speaking. Today we have some special passengers on board. 3 Betano members are going to England to watch Aston Villa live. Congratulations, Emeka, Yemi, Ibrahim.
Play with Betano and stand a chance to win an all-inclusive trip to the UK to watch live the big game of Aston Villa versus Tottenham. Betano, proud partner of Aston Villa. Play responsibly. Available only to those over the age of 18. The promo is valid from November 1st to February 28th, 2025.
Oga, this your engine don kaput o.
After you don't make me repair. See the kind thing you talk.
Oga, don't be my fault now. I sabi work o. Na your engine no good.
Hello, my engine.
My people, una sabi say one way to make sure say una motor and generator engine them work wella na to dey buy ogbonge quality petrol. That na why Dangote Refinery don't find way to refine their petrol to give us ogbonge quality straight run petrol. This na better quality petrol wey you fit trust o. Time don reach to care for una engine them. Buy better quality Dangote petrol.
Hi, Erica.
Yemi, I learned that Betano is sending 3 football fans to England to watch the big game of Aston Villa versus Tottenham for free. Imagine us going there together. That would be amazing. Okay, bye.
What? He hung up to play.
Play with Betano and stand a chance to win an all-inclusive trip to the UK to watch live the big game of Aston Villa versus Tottenham. Betano, proud partner of Aston Villa. Play responsibly. Available only to those over the age of 18. The promo is valid from November 1st to February 28th, 2025.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. The sound of Lagos.
Hello there, your number one sports show on radio, Sports Cruise, from 6 to 7 p.m. every weekday, only on 98.3 Mainland FM. Sports Cruise, 6 p.m. weekdays on 98.3 Mainland FM. The cruise never stops.
Give me freedom, give me fire, give me reason, take me higher.
Girls in my crib, 0 Snapchat, 0 Instagram, posting. The vibe might start falling like London Bridge. I don't care if I saw you in a magazine or if you're on TV. That one don't mean nothing to me. Don't need a shot, maybe I need a free. Guys scream as if you mean to be disgusting. It's not enough. Jump my one side, I'd laugh and no stopping up. Go sharp enough. Dash. Mama Sheba, come back on. Take me to start to the paragon. Start to the halagon. Cause you know say my people they calagon. Oh no, as I hating on us, make we manyamo. No, I be my father's son. Cause you know say I come from Potako. That's why I'm a jago. Start to the dance, I'm like I do. I go show you say bounce and the lago. Cause I be city boy. And as a day for the street, they give me joy. Lamborghini boy. Put them on Jesus and I'm not religious. Oh, I know.
Alright guys, and welcome back to the show. This is still Sports Cruise live from 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. And they are currently listening to City Boys by the Dugu himself, Burna Boy. Unfortunately, the Citizens as well as the City Boys could not win that game against Madrid, just as they beaten at home by Real Madrid 3 goals to 2. But then we have a winner for the giveaways we conducted yesterday. Talking about winners are Generous from Shomolu as well as Amadine from K2. They got their predictions correctly. They said Real Madrid were going to win that game yesterday. So Generous, if you are currently listening to us, just send us a text message via 09136000 430 09136000 Of course, this giveaway is sponsored by Frainy's Restaurant, and then all you have to do is just come to the office tomorrow morning, the station, just for you to get your ticket. Of course, they are to be redeemed on the 12th as well as the 15th of February 2025 from 12 p.m. down to 7 p.m. at Frenny's restaurant right there at Ilupejo. All right, guys, let's also leave all of that very quickly. So the winners for the giveaway, talking about Generals from Shomolu as well as Amadine from K2. I think that again, Generals from Shomolu and Amadine from K2. Now let's also leave that. Now quickly talk about tennis. Yes, award number 1 as well as award number 3. Aryna Sabalenka as well as award number 3. Coco Gauff have now been knocked out in the second round of the Qatar Open. Sabalenka was defeated by Ekaterina Alexandrova at the WTA 1000 event in Doha, while Coco Gauff lost to Marta Kostyuk. Yes, Alexandrova, who also defeated Imara Raducanu in the first round, came from a breakdown twice in a third set and also held serve twice against 3-time Grand Slam champion Aryna Sabalenka. The world number 26 then also held a nerve in the third set tiebreak to secure a 3-6, 6-3, 7-6 win. And then for Ukrainian Kostyuk, who also defeated Coco Gauff. She is the world number 21. She fought back from 3-1 down in the second set to wrap up a 6-2, 7-5 victory over Coco Gauff in 73 minutes. And of course, it's also a second successive defeat for Coco Gauff, who received a bye in the first round and was also playing for the very first time since she lost to Paulo Badosa in the quarterfinals of the Australian Open last month. Now, some little bit of NBA action. Now, Kevin Durant has now become the 8th player in NBA history to reach 30,000 points, and that was after the 36-year-old reached the milestone with a free throw that made it 26 of his 34 points in the Phoenix Suns 119-112 loss to the Memphis Grizzlies. And Kevin Durant, as well, a 15-time All-Star, was playing his 1,101st career game, as well as also joint third fastest to the landmark alongside Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and only Will Chamberlain 941, as well as Michael Jordan 960, got to 30,000 points in fewer games. Now let's also leave that very, very quickly and now also take a look at the games that were concluded yesterday across board in Europe. Yesterday, Brest were defeated. Defeated as well. They're also disappointed and also taken advantage of by PSG. PSG winning that 1-3 goes to nil. We had Ousmane Dembele in the form of his life, scoring all games in 2025 so far this season, and then a 3-0 win for PSG yesterday. Juventus as well also had to leave it late to defeat PSV and Eindhoven 2 goals to 1. Manchester City at Etihad Stadium lost to Real Madrid at 3 goals to 2, despite leading twice in that particular game. And then Sporting CP as well right there in Lisbon were beaten by Borussia Dortmund at 3 goals to 0. Seixeiro Guirassy also making it a goal as well as an assist in that game. I think he just has to be one of the most impressive and most informed strikers at the moment. He's on 10 goals at the moment, exactly.
But man, let's quickly some form of breaking news. Grammy Award winning and Oscar nominated Nigerian songwriter and singer Tems joined San Diego FC ownership as a club partner. Tems becomes the first African female to be involved in any MLS ownership. So she's a part owner of the MLS side San Diego FC. I mean, it's a big one. San Diego MLS team is one of the teams that plays in the MLS. The American
Major League Soccer.
The Major League Soccer, of course. They call it soccer in America. We call it football everywhere, because football is a different sport in America.
In America, it's called American football.
Exactly. So you understand right now. So another one for her. She's in a good form of her life. Recently, about 2 Sundays ago, won a second Grammy, and now she's become the first African female to be involved in any MLS ownership with her part ownership and ownership group of San Diego FC. So I'm sure you probably see some partnership with maybe Nigerian Premier League B-sides, moving their players.
I think it's going to be a big one, to be honest. I mean, what is her name now? Tems is not really the first Nigerian to own, a club outside the shores of Nigeria. I mean, we've seen a lot. I mean, there was also a particular time as well that Aliko Dangote was also flirting the chance to buy out Arsenal.
He was whining himself.
Anyways, yes, other games.
Maybe before he did the Dangote refinery, but now they can't try. He can't even sign the player.
All right, guys, the FA Cup round 4 game. There was a game yesterday talking about Nottingham Forest, up against Exeter City. That game went down to penalties. I mean, for the guy that's been in the shadows all along for Nottingham Forest, talking about Tᴏᴏ, it was kind of a mixed bag for him. He got a goal, his first goal in the FA Cup, and then he had to be stretched off in that game. With the coach also confirming later on that he had broken his nose, with the clash with the Exeter City goalkeeper. Anyways, Nottingham Forest are now through to the 5th round of the FA Cup, and then they also the championship games yesterday. Coventry City defeated QPR, Derby County as well, up against Oxford United. It's in the goalless stalemate in that one. We also had other games as well. Portsmouth defeating Cardiff City 2-1. Watford as well being beaten by Leeds United 4-0, as well as Norwich City at home losing to Preston North End in that one. And then of course, guys, just like we also mentioned, another kind of breaking news now. Manchester City defender talking about Benjamin Mendy has now signed for FC Zurich right there in Switzerland with immediate effect, and that was after he signed the contract until the year 2026, and it's also going to be joining from French club Lorient, where he had spent the last 1.5 seasons. Yes, Mendy joined Lorient after being released by Manchester City, where he made 25 appearances between the years 2017 as well as 2020. But apart from that as well, just like also we mentioned, Kai Havertz is now set to miss the remainder of the season. How much that's going to be a big miss for Arsenal, I think it remains to be seen, just as he suffered a significant hamstring injury which is set to rule him out of the rest of the season. I mean, they are currently on a mid of the season trip to Dubai for some form of training. Unfortunately, Arsenal have not even really gotten any form of signings onto the side, during the January transfer window, and it just looks like their highest goal scorer with 15 goals in all competitions this season is going to be missing out of all of the actions that will be played much later this season. But of course, guys, there are also games as well later tonight to look forward to. Yes, in the UEFA Champions League knockout rounds playoffs. Yes, we have two Nigerians who will be locking on against each other, talking about Club Brugge as well as Atlanta. That's Rafael Onyedika, who plays straight for Club Brugge, as well as yes, Ademola Lookman, the reigning African Player of the Year. Apart from that, AS Monaco as well would also lock on with Benfica. That's going to be by 9 p.m. Celtic as well up against Bayern Munich, as well as Feyenoord versus AC Milan. And then for the MPFL games as well that were also concluded in the early hours of today, Kano Pillars at the Sani Abacha Stadium defeated El Kanemi Warriors 2-1. I also had the Penn Insurance as well seeing off Enyimba 1-0. And then Akwa United as well defeating Shooting Stars 2-0 to end their unbeaten run. Talking about that for Shooting Stars. Alright, guys, yes, so currently we are streaming on Facebook. You can go on our Facebook page at Mela 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. You can drop your comments there. Yes, of course, as well as also get to see my face as well as Okwemi's face as well. You can, apart from Facebook, you're also streaming as well on YouTube. Go search us on YouTube at Mela 98.3 FM at the sound of Lagos. And of course, if you want to also contribute your quota to the show, 0913 6000 410, 0913 6000 410, and a WhatsApp number as well, 0913 6000 430, 0913 6000 430. And just like what we announced as well at the beginning of the show, we have two winners, and that was from the giveaway that we did courtesy of Franny's Restaurant. Yes, talking about Generous from Shomolu as well as Amadine from Kate. Now let's also quickly open the phone lines and then hear what you have to say. Yes, hello, good evening. Where are you calling from? Oh, please kindly try to call us back. 0913 6000 410, 0913 6000 410. Hello, good evening. Your name and where are you calling from?
Oh, good evening. This is Mr. James from James Agbado Junction.
You're welcome, Mr. James, to the show.
Yes, I've been wondering because yesterday when I was listening to Okwemi and one of the other guys in the studio, they said something that I was having at the back of my mind. They said previously, anybody that see the first to score between Manchester City and Real Madrid end up losing that game.
No. That was not what we said. We said the first person that scores in that tie
always get knocked out. Exactly. It's the same thing. It's still the same thing. Man City scored first. They still lost.
That's true.
I was having it at the back of my mind. So, okay, let me watch if that thing is still going to repeat.
It happened now.
It happened actually.
When Manchester City scored at 86 minutes, I said, there was no space because I was believing that Madrid was still going to win that match because of that position, because of that thing.
And it happened.
But eventually, he still repeated. And I said that maybe you guys are great, honestly.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, I think we made that prediction of him yesterday, and that was exactly what happened.
I'm sure when he came through, a lot of people were like, where did you guys get this stuff from? And it's the fact, and it's exactly, it's still going to repeat itself again. Whoever scores first at any stake that both of them are meant each other at the Champions League always get knocked out.
Exactly.
And it's still, the tradition will continue.
Apart from that, it's possible. That one is possible.
Are you whining me?
Hello, good evening. Your name, where are you calling from?
Good evening. This is Gibbs calling from ᴜᴜ
Gibbs, you don't know where you're calling from.
I'm on the road.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome.
I was Ahmadi that won the ticket. And you know what I said?
Yeah, you said what?
My name is Ahmadin. I'm the one that won the ticket.
Oh, Ahmadin. Oh, yes, Ahmadin.
Okay.
Congratulations to you.
Then for the match, I am more afraid of Carlo Ancelotti than I'm afraid of any other.
Of course, you have to be afraid of the Don.
One thing I've noticed about the Don is still playing old school tactics.
And it's working.
It takes too long with the substitute, and that's why you ran Rudiger to the ground. Yes. I didn't have won, but I saw it and I was so pissed yesterday. At 70 minutes,
you still kept Luka Modric.
And you've not made any talk. At 83 minutes, you are still keeping Brahim Diaz and leaving your people expired on the team.
But the Diaz came in and he got the job done. What would you rather do? What would you rather do?
I would rather have him do that at 60 minutes, 65. You have an Adagula on the bench. Remove Ceballos and bring in the Gula.
Okay, so let me ask you.
Nobody's even mentioning Hendrick.
Well, let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question?
I'm listening.
Okay, what would you rather prefer? Bring in Brahim Diaz 30 minutes and it doesn't make any impact, or you bring in him 7 minutes into the game and it scores to pull you level?
If you look at the tackle Ceballos made, he made a tired tackle. He was already tired.
Yes, now, yes.
For me, the man of the match yesterday was even finished. It was Camavinga.
He was just in a world of his own.
And he was very careful not to make a tackle that would have been a yellow card. It will mean he will miss the next match. So he was very, very careful. So you know that Carlo should make his subs quicker. You can't put a player on the field for 21 matches straight and make him play 90 minutes. Don't charm. So Baba should try and make his subs
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ahmadin. Just kindly come to our station tomorrow morning to get your tickets, and that's courtesy of Franny's restaurant. And let's also hear from this caller as well. Hello, good evening. Your name and where you calling from? Oche, you're welcome to the show.
Yes. From our city, they are gone already. The second leg will be like one, but that is there. I really want to win because I predicted 2-2, and when they are playing 2-2 around something minutes, right?
You don't already there. You don't calculate what you go shop for Franny's.
I swear, I'm not happy that the name has just scored the third goal. I'm not happy at all.
You're welcome to the show.
Good evening.
My name is Adana from Yaba.
You're welcome.
You play and you great player, you know good player. You only see when 3 points, you do your work. Maximum now, you see the kind of job where Gadona did yesterday. This guy don't lose the right. He don't get confused. And when they don't do it like this, you go call the cash ahead. Well, you can't want to be able to cash it. They don't beat you.
Thank you. Hello? Oh, please can you try to call us back 0913-6000-410 0913-6000-410. But okay, let's also try as much as possible to keep the calls by one time and also take a look at that Madrid versus Manchester City game. I mean, at the beginning of the season, a lot of people made mention of the fact that Pep Guardiola should have left when the ovation was at its loudest. I mean, his closest challenger was Jurgen Klopp. Where he gave that surprising speech that was going to be leaving Liverpool, that was running out of energy. And a lot of people as well said that why didn't Pep Guardiola as well also do this? And this is not the first time that we are seeing this sort of capitulation from Manchester City this season. Against Brentford, they led 2-0. That game eventually ended in a 2-2 draw against Feyenoord as well in the UEFA Champions League at this same Etihad Stadium. Manchester City led at halftime 3-0. Feyenoord came back from behind to draw that game. Apart from that as well, in the games against, I'm trying as much as possible to remember now. I think it was against Brighton still this season. Manchester City as well led again, and then Brighton came back to win that game against Crystal Palace as well. You know, that also in a draw. What next for Pep Guardiola as well as Manchester City? Do you think it is high time that Pep Guardiola resigns at the end of the season, or is just a simple case of a major overhaul of his squad?
Where do we start this from?
Anyway,
I think Pep Guardiola wanted to leave, but it was Man City that were not ready for a replacement.
I think he signed a new contract.
You see, when it was time for Pep to leave, we all knew. There's just a lot to talk about.
I'm telling you.
So, the dominance of Manchester City in the Premier League was a dream for the owners of Man City.
Yes.
They've seen how the experiment had worked with PSG in France. They also feel like, the biggest league in the world is the English Premier League. They've seen the dominance of Manchester United, of maybe the history of Arsenal, even though they've not won the league in 22 years, that's still being revered, especially with that, unbeaten the entire season record that they have.
Yeah.
They've also seen how Chelsea have enjoyed the level of progress in the last 12 years, making them the most successful English club in Europe in the last 15 seasons. So the owners of Man City felt like, you know what, let us come into this place, let us pump in more money. I mean, there were times where then Richard Dunn, Benjamin Buari, then Boni, all of these guys were one only swear at Man City. They came in with the huge amount of money, revolutionized the way football is being played. They brought in managers, they brought in Mancini, they brought in Manuel Pellegrini. They won those leagues, but they didn't have the level of dominance that Pep Guardiola gave them. So when Pep came, there was an obvious need for a total overhauling. So the players that needed to leave left, new players came through, and within that period, you would know that this Man City team is destined for greatness. So, and then the journey began. They won the first league title, won the second league title, they lost one in between, they came back and won it, then they won it, then Liverpool won it, then they came back and then they won it, they won it, they won it, and they won it 4 times
in a row.
In between that period, you could feel like they have enjoyed that dominance in England. They wanted to see what it means to be a part of Champions the elite level in Europe. So they got to their quarterfinals, they lost to PSG. They got to the final, they lost to Chelsea, and at that point they knew that the only thing that could give them that title was to find their way to get back to the final again. And coming back to the final means you need to come more prepared, more armed than you did the first time you were around. So what did they do? They went to Borussia Dortmund and they brought in arguably the hottest striker in football as at that time. They brought in Haaland, and I remember, and I keep seeing this, I made a tweet that if Pep Guardiola does not win the Champions League that same season, they should sack him, they should arrest him and jail him, because there's nothing else you need. You have a sweeper goalkeeper, you have the best defense, you have Kyle Walker, you have John Stone,
maybe
you
the
have
best
this one,
defensive
you have
as well.
in the midfield, you have everything going for you. You have an enforcer in Vincent Kompany, you have the mastery of Bernardo Silva, you have all of these guys that can mess opponents up, the level of dominance, but they knew they needed to get counted as part of the elite club in Europe. So they brought in Haaland. And he literally tore every record available that season. And what did they do? They won the entire 3. They won the Champions League, which has been what they've been looking for. When they won that Champions League, you know, the season Liverpool won the Premier League, the momentum for Liverpool was the Premier League. The season they won the Premier League was not even the highest point. The season prior, they lost the league by 1 point to Manchester City.
And that was when they won the Champions League.
And that was when they won the Champions League. So it was the build-up of that champion. I just imagine if Tottenham had won that Champions League, there wouldn't have been any other club.
Ireland would probably have.
Arsenal would have been dead in North London. So it was the motivation of wanting to win the league for the first time that delivered the Champions League for Liverpool. So when they won the Premier League, it was a case of what else do we want to win? How do you keep big players that are billionaires, how do you keep them motivated when they want virtually everything to be won in club football? That was what happened at Liverpool. So you look at the team and you feel like, you know what, Sadio Mane, you have to leave. Bobby Firmino.
You have to leave.
Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. You have to leave. Fabinho Henderson. You have to leave. Naby Keita. You have to leave. There had to be some level of rebuilding, and that was where Pep Guardiola failed. So you have players that have stuck with you. They've won everything with you. Pep Guardiola is suffering from his loyalty to his players that won him everything. Guys, come. You're all over 30. You know what? I appreciate all of the things you've done for us. 6 Premier League titles. The future now is Phil Foden. He was the EPL player of the year.
Yeah.
He's the standard player. He's young. He's an English player. He's now going to be the future of the team alongside Haaland. So the Kevin De Bruyne's of this world, the Bernardo Silva's of this world.
Gundogan went to Barcelona and
came back. And each time Gundogan had come in as a sub for Man City this season, they've gone on to lose or
disaster class.
3-3 for Feyenoord, 2-0 to Crystal Palace. They lost to Brighton. They brought him in yesterday. They lost
as well.
So that's his own cost. But okay, sit the guys down. We've won everything. Which of you want to go to Saudi Arabia? You can leave. Which of you wants to go to this place? You can leave. Let us start all over again, because they got to that climax.
Exactly.
They won everything. How many players were still hungry in that side? Phil Foden already has like 6 Premier League titles.
Okay, let me hold your thought freely. Manchester City this season have been, letting loose their leads this season. Whenever they lead at some point, they either end up losing that game, or they eventually draw in that particular game. Is this really a mental side or physical side?
It's about motivation, and that's where I'm driving to.
Okay.
I'm a superstar. I've won everything I could win in the club. What else can keep me motivated? When I've not won the Champions League, that was the goal. The investment, spending all of the money. Now I've delivered with the Champions League. Nobody had ever won 4 Premier League titles on a bounce. I've done it. So what else? I've won the FIFA World Club.
What else
I've won the UEFA Super Cup. I've won everything. So how do you keep me motivated?
You've won the FIFA Club World Cup as well.
How do you want to make me keep going and wanting more when I can actually earn more somewhere else and even break more records somewhere else? So it's about motivation. And what I said it the other time, I said Pep Guardiola wanted to leave, but Man City were not ready to let Pep Guardiola leave. So it was a signing of convenience. It wasn't a signing Pep Guardiola wanted. If it was a signing he would have done, he wouldn't have delayed that period. He's not a player that is being courted everywhere.
That's true.
Do you understand? He wouldn't have waited till how long it took everybody to make him sign, to the point that they were even saying, oh, let's see if he's going to take over the 3 Lions job, if he's going to be the next Spanish manager. He dilly-dally, because it was a case of, I've won everything as a manager.
I think I'm ready to leave.
What else do I want to leave? Let me take my regular sabbatical of 1 year the way I did when I was leaving Bayern, and I'm sure that clubs will sack their coaches to bring me back on board. On national team.
Manchester City is the only club he has spent more than 4 years.
Exactly. And if he complete this is 2 years, that means he will have done 11 years.
Is it 11? Yes,
this is his 9th year.
9th season.
So my question is this: who would Man City have turned to if they had allowed Pep Guardiola to leave?
Anybody coming into his shoes, who find it difficult.
The standard
has been set.
Was taken to a whole new level.
A new ceiling.
It was a whole new level of dominance. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So it's a case of who is going to come in? Which manager can, even if you cannot break the record of Pep, which I think is impossible. If Pep leaves Man City today, there's no manager. I'm not God. And I'm not a prophet of doom, but I'm not sure there's any manager that can meet up to that level that it took. Man City, he took them to that level. They became untouchable. They became invincible. See, if Man City draw against you, or you draw against Man City, you celebrate that you've won. Do you understand? So, Man City at some point became a victim of their own success. What other things would do and go away with it, it became a below par performance for Man City. So Man City became, they started being judged by the number of goals they win matches. Because they'll beat you 6-0, 7-0. So if Man City goes 5 games without a defeat,
exactly.
It becomes like a normal thing. If Chelsea goes 6 games without losing any match, it's a big deal. But Man City will go 10 games without losing any game. Nobody will talk about it, because Man City will give you gap. They give you handicap. They will allow you keep thinking you can win. Arsenal topped the table for over 200 days. Man City had 11 wins in 12 games and they won the league over Arsenal. That's what they do. So it's almost like they tease everybody, like, keep fighting, keep going. We'll come back. And they literally just throw to the title. So that is the level Man City have been. So when Pep Guardiola knew that I had to leave, I'm just saying, maybe the board of Man City called him and said, you know what? What do you want? We'll give you a blank check. What do you want? How much do you want? Give us 2 more years. Let us secretly hunt a manager that will replace you. Let's see if we can convince maybe Zinedine Zidane. Although a lot of people are thinking he will take over the French national team, but we're not
eventually.
sure.
After Didier Deschamps at the 2026
give us another
World Cup.
2 years. Let's see whether we can get a manager that can replace you. Oh, why don't you just relax a bit? Let's see the level Arteta can take Arsenal to the level of success. He's been a part of this system. He knows how you work. We can, bring him back to Etihad Stadium. Do you understand? So I guess that was what they told Pep Guardiola. And you know what? We're going to give you money to buy whatever player you also want to buy. Whether in January, whether in the summer, we make everything available for you. And you guys have been nice to me. You've made me the highest paid manager in the world. You've given me trophies. You've made me a household name in England. You've made me a legend of part of your history. I will give you that 2 years. So as at that point, it became a convenience of Pep and the board and not the players. Kevin De Bruyne obviously wanted to leave, but he stood back because Pep Guardiola stayed.
Exactly.
So you have only few players that have not enjoyed that dominance, and they want more.
They are hungry.
Haaland have not gotten as much as he wanted. That's why even as messed up as Man City season has been, he's still delivering and he's still signing a long-term goal. Do you understand what I'm trying to say, Agbatomi? So that is the process where Man City is, and it's going to be tough. You know why? At this point, if they get knocked out of the Champions League, which is a given, they're already out of the Carabao Cup.
Exactly. They're still in the FA Cup.
They're still one leg in the FA Cup, and they're going to play against a Plymouth that can be a bit tricky because Plymouth knocked out Liverpool. So you never can tell.
That's just a one-off.
That's the magic of the FA Cup.
Well, I agree with
that's
that.
what makes FA Cup the oldest cup competition in the entire world. So it's the magic of it could happen. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So it's going to be the first time, if Man City don't finish in the top 3, it's going to be the first time in the Pep Guardiola's era of 9 years that not finished as either first or second.
Anyway, let's just hope for that. Okay, let's also leave all of that very quickly and now talk about Arsenal. Yes, just like we mentioned, 15 goals, striker for Arsenal. Kai Havertz is now set to be out due to a hamstring injury that was sustained on the club's trip to Dubai, and that leaves the Gunners without a recognized centre forward. YᴏᴜT괜બ્ᴇ is currently out with a knee injury. We also have Bukayo Saka as well as Gabriel Martinelli also recovering from hamstring issues. Okay, the simple question is this going to deter or more or less are we seeing the end to Arsenal's title bid this season?
They were never going to win the league.
Come on,
that's it. And I continue to say Arteta won't take Arsenal to glory. You see, they always say who the gods want to kill the first run mad. Arteta, see everybody, whether retired a world-class goalkeeper in Raya, they have arguably the best centre back in world partnership.
Exactly,
arguably, if not the best, maybe the top 3. In Saliba and Gabriel.
Exactly.
They've got wing backs.
But not the Saliba that Isaac dealt with.
Well, I mean, there are bad days in the office, which is normal. Even with our footballer, we always have our bad days in the office and all of that. They've got midfield that's flexible. They've got arguably the best winger in the world right now, Bukayo Saka.
Exactly.
All you needed
was this striker.
And Arsenal would have even been better with Kai Havertz as 8 than as a 9.
What?
So the whole idea of scoring 93 goals last season without a striker was what messed Mikel Arteta's head up.
Exactly.
So when the entire world know that you need strikers, you let go of the *ɪ̀kpɛ̀rɪ̀kpɛ strikers that you have. All of those ones combined cannot even give you 15 goals. Then you went to bring in Merino, a midfielder. You let go of Fabio. You let go of Emil Smith-Rowe.
Exactly.
You let go of Edin Ketia. You let go of this one.
Reece Nelson.
You did not bring, and at least those ones to back for left eye, they can still give
maybe
like 10-15 goals. The Bournemouth moment last season of Reece Nelson,
exactly,
they can still give you those yori moments. But you now let go of all of them. You now decide to go and bring in a midfielder, thinking that the desired Lord and personal savior of your life is going to be Kai Havertz. And I will tell you for a fact, Gabriel Jesus is out. Kai Havertz is out. Both of them are out for the rest of the season. So you have Raheem Sterling as your top striker.
A certain I'm Sterling that missed a penalty against Girona.
Everyone can miss a penalty. Then you have Sterling with Rudiger. Rudiger will just tell Ancelotti, "Don't come, come. I want to wear Jollof slippers. I don't want to wear soccer boots." See, I would tell when I saw that team against Newcastle, the first thing I told myself is, how do you think Dan Burn would see Kai Havertz as a threat? Whether 15 goals or 37 goals, who cares? Arteta had 33 days of the January transfer window
to prepare.
From 1st of January to 2nd of February to sign player. You did not sign player.
It's not his fault though. Okay, I mean, a serious club should have their what's it called now? Their spendings to make at the summer transfer window, not the January transfer window.
When did Man U sign Fernandes?
The January transfer window.
Okay.
Man U are not serious now. Man U are not serious now. Anyway, let's quickly hear from this caller. Hello, good evening, very quickly. Where are you calling from? Very quickly.
Good evening.
Very quickly, good evening.
This is Balogun from Magbado here.
You're welcome, Balogun.
Yes, the first thing that as an Arsenal fan, I nearly shouted hallelujah that Havertz was injured.
I tell you.
and I was praying. I hadn't this evening. I was getting to know that I was an out of season injury. I told a fellow Arsenal fan that I pray it should be out of season so that Arteta will learn its lesson.
Thank you so much.
Guy, I don't understand what was running in his head.
Thank you so.
You want to build a team
on
Kayaba. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You appreciate your contribution. Thank you so much. Hello, good evening. Anywhere calling from very quickly. Hello. Oh, I don't think this call is for us. Yes, let's also hear from this call. Hello, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from very quickly, please.
Hello, good evening.
Also, please, you have just 30 seconds.
Yeah, Chris is my name, man, from Cape Town, a first-time caller.
You're welcome to the show.
Good to be with you guys. Guardiola, for me, my take is on Guardiola. Guardiola is playing the chess game or draft with Man City. His time is over in Man City. You know, when you're playing the draft or chess game and they are beating you, you will be feeling that, I'll go back, I'll win again, you keep losing. So you have left when the vision was loudest. Now look at everything is messed up. But you have to be, that's the only way out.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's also pick this last call, the last call on the show this evening. Hello, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from?
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. Your name and where you're calling from very quickly, please. You have just 30 seconds.
Tommy, good evening.
Baba Ayelo.
Yeah.
I did.
Okay, so today is going to be the first day I'm agreeing about Tommy.
This guy.
I agree with you.
This guy.
Generally, we do is opportunistic situations. It's not something that strategized with. But then again, there have been some lucky draws.
Thank you so much, Josebo. Thank you so much. We really I can't take any more of your contributions because you have to leave the studio at this point in time. All right, guys, and that's the size of the package, the midweek edition of Sports Cruise Live from 98.3 FM at the sound of Lagos. Big shout outs to you. There are also other games as well.
I'm sure Arteta would convert Odegaard to first nine. He can play anywhere.
All right, guys. Up next is the Ladies Lounge. Yes, they are very much around, and please stick around. This is still 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Good night.